Hey beautiful souls, today I'm going to speak about balancing the left and the right brain and why that is important. Some years ago I went to the school in Oslo called Agape Institute, which is founded by Marit Reitan. And Marit Reitan is also one of my masterclass teachers in my membership, and she's been one of my teachers for many years now. And I really respect her teaching, and I want to share something she is stressing that is very important, which is to balance the two brains. Now, commonly known, we have the left brain and the right brain, and the left brain controls the right side of the body, and the right brain controls the left side of the body. And they are connected through this bridge called corpus callosum. So this bridge is like sending signals back and forth in order for us to use both our brains. But what happens is that sometimes we have more focus on the one side or the other side, and that creates an imbalance. So the left side is where we have our logical thinking and our analytical thinking, reasoning, understanding, all about numbers, science, etc. The right side is like the abstract thinking, our creativity, imagination, our spiritual side, and our emotions. So if a person is very imbalanced when it comes to the two brains, you might find that they're like very skeptical, very analytical, do not want to speak about emotions at all. It's all about rational thinking. And on the other hand, if you're too much in the right brain, you might be too emotional and create a lot of drama and not really being able to think rationally, etc. And none of them are better than the other. We need the balance. Like Buddha was saying, the balance. So why do we get this imbalance? I believe that we are actually born with this 99%, I guess, born with a beautiful balance. And you see that children are cross-crawling right before they start to walk. So that is a great exercise, which I will come back to balance these brains. But we might and tend to sometimes develop some patterns that are not so good for us. For instance, if we are a person who uses a lot of the upper body and not so much moves the lower body, or the other way around, uses our legs a lot and are very stiff in our upper body, that may create an imbalance. For instance, a lot of women are wearing this purse. I remember Marit said that, and I was like, yeah, I have done that. Wearing this purse all the time and kind of going like this and not having, the cross movement of the body. That can also create an imbalance. Or for instance, if we are stressing a lot, like doing a lot of rapid movements and seldomly actually having slow movements, that can also create an imbalance. Or, for instance, if we say a lot yes when we mean no, and no when we mean yes, that can also create an imbalance in the brain. And of course, the optimal thing is to have a complete balance, right? And that's why my theory is that sometimes I think that might be why some exercises are not working, because actually our brains are not balanced. And I remember I used to say yes, but a lot. Like yes, but, yes, but, yes, but, yes, but. And actually Marit, because I worked pretty close to her, she made me aware of this. And she said that you need to balance your brains. So she taught me these exercises that I started doing, and I will come back to that. And I started saying more yes and. So what can we do to balance the two brains? Well, what is super for this is actually to do some physical exercises, and they have to be diagonal. So, for instance, what you can do, and you can imagine anything, any diagonal exercise that you can think of will be great when it comes to balancing the brains. For instance, you can take your right elbow and your left leg, you can't see it right now, and do like this. This is a great exercise to balance the two brains. Or you can, for instance, lie on your stomach and take your right arm up and your left leg up, and then switch. Do like that. Now, here comes the clue. When we do exercises and motions very slowly, then we are stimulating the back of the brain where our subconsciousness lies. And as many of you know, we have a lot of old belief systems, old emotions, traumas, thoughts, attitudes in our subconsciousness. And Bruce Lipton is saying that our subconsciousness is controlling 95% of our lives. So a lot of what we create in our lives comes from our subconsciousness. Now, when we are doing motions slowly, when we're doing something in slow motion, then we are triggering the subconsciousness, which is good because then things can start to come up. So, if you want to try this, to do a diagonal exercise to stimulate the corpus callosum, to balance the two brains, and if you're doing it in slow motion, then things from your subconsciousness might come up. So be aware of that. Maybe all of a sudden get sad. Maybe all of a sudden get super angry, annoyed, irritated, jealous, whatever it is, whatever is suppressed in your subconsciousness might start to come up, which is good because you start to empty this jar of suppressed emotions that is not serving you anymore, that is blocking your energy. That is why this, I believe, is such a powerful exercise, to do diagonal exercises super slowly. And if these emotions starts to come up, see if you can just accept them. If you become angry, accept your anger. It just wants to be released. If you become sad, accept the sadness. Let it be and let it empty itself. So how long should you do these exercises? Well, what I was recommended by Marit when I started out was I was cross-crawling diagonally, and I did it very slowly. I did that for 7 minutes for 7 weeks. And Marit says we shouldn't exaggerate this. We shouldn't do it too much. So 5 to 10 minutes every day is super. And then set a time limit, maybe like 7 weeks, 10 weeks, 5 weeks. You need to do it a couple of weeks to have some effect. But then afterwards, when you have balanced the brains, you don't need to do it like every day. You can do it maybe once a week. But it's a really good exercise to do to balance the brains and see how it changes you. For some, they have huge results from this. Others don't feel that much. Maybe their brains are balanced already. But I wanted to offer this to you because maybe it might work for you. So good luck. Just know that you can come up with the exercises yourself. You can go online and find different exercises as long as they are diagonal. You're doing it in crossways, and especially if you're doing it very slowly, then you're stimulating directly your subconsciousness. So very likely you will have more rapid spiritual growth. Thank you for watching. Shine the light that you are.